If you're just joining us, thanks. Hour one was a lot of fun. Garrick Jones is with us from Houston, the former longtime NFLer and CFLer, lineman, nicknamed the Commish. He wants to be nicknamed the GM. He started a petition to be the general manager of the NFL's Texans.
Yep.
He's become a good friend of ours. You might want to go back and watch that later on if you have a chance. Culture is a problem with the Houston Texans. He thinks he can fix it. And Sportsnet's Arash Madani, although he talked about the Olympics and he talked about the Brady-Belichick marriage, what really got people's juices flowing was when he started telling Ottawa Renegade stories.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's cool. I love listening to the old names. It's like the deep traditions of the Ottawa Redblacks that we didn't realize existed, but we remember all those names, right? How cool is that?
And I know our Ottawa viewers will be enjoying that very much. Probably that segment we just had with Arash at the end of hour one. And the next time we bring him on, we'll do a full segment dedicated to Renegade stories. But can we make a deal that Mike Abou-Meshrik has to be in the bunker at the time?
Yeah, okay.
Because he played on those teams. Our sports topics of the program today, just ahead of Sportsnet Flames, Ryan Leslie joining us. He's the host of Flames Broadcast. For the people that are on the prairies, you will probably know Ryan when you watch Flames broadcasts. He's the host of them. So that's coming up in moments. But our quick 6 show topics here. One was, what does Tom Brady have to prove? Which we haven't really settled on, but we will spend more time on that. That bled into point 2. What does Cody Fajardo have to prove? Which we've spent no time on. We mentioned it, but we haven't got to it.
Right.
So we will here, I promise, in hour 2. Which led to point 3. What does blank have to prove? Because my guy was Fajardo. The world's guy's Brady at the moment. But what about yours? Who's the guy that you're watching? You mentioned Patrick Laine of the Winnipeg Jets. What's he got to prove? A lot.
A lot.
And you pointed out why. And a lot of people chimed in on the Facebook wall with their comments who they thought has something to prove in 2020 in sports. I think it's a pretty fascinating question. That led to our Twitter poll question from Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who has the most to prove in the NFL in 2020? These are the options we came up with. Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Todd Gurley, or Bill Belichick. It shifted, Darren, from an hour ago. We have a new leader.
Whoa.
It's Tom Brady.
I assumed in the viewers and the listeners it would be between Brady and Belichick. I just assumed because that's top of mind. I have a tough time deciding who I would pick as who has the most to prove because Todd Gurley was, maybe a top running back in the NFL just a year ago, gets cut money reasons, and Cam Newton was a former MVP.
Tom Brady right now leading the poll with 35%. We have breaking news. Thank you, Clark. Thank you. Clark has told me the Regina Pats have won the draft lottery. Have I got that right? Because there's a guy writing in that's saying exactly the opposite. Okay, the Regina Pats will pick first. Thank you, Clark. Clark says it's complicated, but the Pats will pick first. Some people like it, some don't.
I can tell you exactly what happened. Prince George won the draft lottery. They move up 2 spots, but they couldn't get into first because they were too far back. So everybody else slides up. The Pats get the first pick because they had the best odds.
So what's cool about that, for us Pats fans, of which I'm one, Connor Bedard will be the number 1 pick. He's the first player in Western Canadian history to be granted exceptional player status, and he'll be playing with the Regina Pats come this fall. He's the next Sam Steele. He's the next, dare I say, Connor McDavid, because he got exceptional player status in the OHL too. I know that's a lot of pressure, but you know what? That's for him to deal with.
80-some points in like 35, 36 games. Special kid.
And a viewer, Martin Smith, by the way, our friend Martin Smith, you know him well. As a matter of fact, he's the guy that hooked us up, really.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Marty played in the dub. He says, all this talk about Connor Bedard playing at 15. What about Glenn Goodall? He did it at 14 with the Seattle Thunderbirds. We're not saying he's the first 15-year-old to play ever in the dub, but he's the first to get exceptional player status. So Glenn Goodall still, I believe, the career games played leader in the WHL. Hey, Pats fans are excited. Pats fans are celebrating today. They have won the lottery.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.